Salam alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the Islamic community and Ramadan Mubarak. All right. So I want to share my thoughts on the brother who was calling the Adhan and how he was going about calling out the Adhan. All right. So for those of you who don't know what the Adhan is the call to prayer. Okay. So that's when technically when somebody is calling the Adhan, right? Let's say the prayer is around, let's say the prayer is around Maghrib, right? So the Maghrib prayer, which is the sunset prayer, right? What somebody do is they'll call the Adhan, means they'll call to prayer, and what you have to do is you have to stop everything that you're doing to go make your wudu or ablution. So ablution or wudu is basically cleansing your body, getting yourself prepared, getting yourself together, right? And then there's another thing they call after the Adhan. I forgot the name of it, but it's similar to the Adhan, right? That's when it's time to make the salats. Okay, everybody getting formation and all. All right, anyway, so the brother was called the Adhan. And there's been criticism regarding to how he was going about doing it. So he didn't do it in the traditional way. The way he did it is like almost like him, like it's almost sound like he was singing, like he was hitting the notes and all of that. All right, and some people feel some kind of way. Some people thought it was beautiful, and some people feel some kind of way about it. Okay, some people feel like it's not the appropriate way of doing it, or it's haram, etc. All right. Now, my thoughts on it, I think it was very beautiful. Now, was it like a little long-winded? Sort of. It was kind of long-winded how he went about doing it because, you don't want to kind of overwhelm people when you call the Adhan. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be something that you kind of do within less than a minute or within 1 minute. You know what I mean? So, the way they do it right, the way they call the Adhan is basically you say, Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Ashandu la khaylallah. Ashandu la khaylallah. Ashandu annu Muhammad Rasulullah. That's how it's kind of like that. You go hayala salah, hayala salah, hayala falah, hayala falah. Right? So you're not really singing. It's like you got a tone. You know what I'm saying? You kind of like get that little vibration in your tone when you call the Adhan, right? So the way the brother was calling it is like he was singing it. And I think what he's doing, he was very passionate about it. He was doing it from the heart. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was trying to become a next R&B singer or audition or anything like that. Peace, brother Norman. How you doing? It's not like he was trying to audition. That's just how maybe that's just the way he was, you know, that's his natural tone. Maybe that's the natural tone. Everybody don't call the Adhan the same way. I remember when I used to go to the masjid when I was younger, there was a brother that called the Adhan similar to how he called it. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do all the extra, he didn't do all of that. Like, he didn't do the extra part, but he called it very beautifully. It was so beautiful. It was like a harmony. It was like a tune. You know what I'm saying? You could just listen to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when it was time, you could just sit there and listen, and you just be so in tune with that. It's just like it puts you into meditation mode because that's how beautiful the Adhan was. So it wasn't a traditional Adhan that he did it. You know what I'm saying? He put his own unique to it. And I think that as long as you be creative with it and you be able to get it across, you know what I'm saying? And be able to get people's attention, then that's all that matters. So everybody don't call the Adhan the same way. That's how I look at it. I don't think that it should be like a big deal. Now, the only thing is he should not be very long-winded with it. He should not like do it, overextended, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, his Adhan was beautiful. It was very beautiful. Um I could just hear the passion in his voice. And another thing, I think people just need to stop discouraging folks from, going on a spiritual path. I mean, yeah, they might do things that might be considered as unlawful or whatnot, but at the same time, that's that person's journey. That's their path in life. That's something that they have to become accustomed to. That's something they have to deal with. So, like there's the thing about tattoos. Yes, although it may mention in the Quran that you're not supposed to put ink on your body, now you can wear henna. Henna is like, it's basically like some form of it's not like they use it. Okay, so henna is actually is a dye. So henna is a dye, right? But you can take that little ink and put it on your body, but it stays on your body for temporary. And it's not only just prevalent in the Islamic culture, but it's prevalent in the Indian culture. Those especially that's in Hinduism. Yeah, henna is pretty popular, but that's considered to be more halal, but having tattoo is considered to be haram. But you have to understand, there was people who had tattoos on their body before they converted into Islam. You know what I mean? So it was already there. So I mean, I don't think that Allah would be too much concerned that, oh, you got tattoos on your body that you would not be worthy of. No, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people have to just kind of lay low. You gotta lay back. This is what caused people to turn away from the deen. This is what made people not want to practice religion, because the fact that they get condemned so much for every little thing. Now I can see if there's certain limitation as to what you can do and what you can't do, you know what I'm saying, or what is allowed and permissible, especially when you go to a place like a masjid or a church or a synagogue, somewhere like that, you know what I'm saying. I mean, you could place certain limitation, but at the same time, when you just overextend things, like, oh, because somebody got a tattoo, or if you see a guy wearing earrings, like, he wear those little stud earrings, you know what I'm saying? Or if a woman doesn't wear a veil on her face, or she doesn't, like, I done been to a masjid where, and this, like I said, this a long time ago, where women could not even come in there with no socks on. Like, what that has to do with the fact that this woman is worshiping Allah? Why she can't come in there with no socks on? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and after all, the men are in the front and the women are in the back. Or the women will be upstairs, the men will be downstairs. Like, you're separated. So what? I mean, but people make a big deal about certain things. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on the culture. And this is why when you, especially if you're in the Sunni Islamic religion, that's why you have to go back and look at the Islamic jurisprudence, right? Or the different Sunni schools of thoughts. Okay, you gotta look at the Maliki. You gotta look at the Hanafi, the Hanabali, or was it Hanabi? I think it's Hanabi, and I forgot the other one. So it's four of them. So everybody don't, follow the same, everybody do things a little different. So those different schools represent those different teachers that came out of Sunni Islam. Okay, but they had some differences. All right, some was a little bit more conservative, and some was a little bit more kind of liberal, like, you know what I'm saying, they were more contemporary, like. So everybody, the customs is a little different, you know what I'm saying. Everybody's not gonna fall in line, agree on every single thing, but that does not take away they love in their relationship with what they have with their own creator, and how they build a relationship with their creator, you know what I mean. So you cannot make a person feel some kind of way or make them feel guilty because you see in the Quran that they not supposed to have tattoos. Okay, that's between that person and Allah. Or the fact that somebody having a girlfriend or boyfriend, that's between that person and Allah. They ain't got nothing to do with you. So what if that person choose to date, right? That's on them. Yeah, in the Quran it might say that there's no such thing as dating. You get married. Okay, but at the same time, if a person choose to be in a relationship with somebody and they're not married, that's on them. That doesn't have anything to do with your personal life. I mean, you can encourage them, you can show them, but at the end of the day, it's up to them to make that choice. So and that's just the way I see it. I mean, Just like you can't tell a woman to put on the hijab. I mean, now if she come in the mosque, that's a different story. Of course, she should put on the hijab if she come in the mosque. But if she's somewhere out in the street and she don't have on her hijab, that's on her. You know what I'm saying? You can't control what a person, what they choose to wear outside the mosque. You can't control that. If that person choose not to wear a hijab, that's their decision. That doesn't mean that they have no relationship with their creator because they don't wear a hijab. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people can be very extreme to the point that nobody wants to even stick around long enough. And I heard stories where certain mosques won't even let women go in there and pray. Certain masjid would not let women go in and pray. That makes no sense. Why? Why would you be that way? When has Allah ever said in the Quran or in the Hadith that women are not allowed in the masjid to pray? But you got people, you got imams that will tell women you cannot come in here and make salat. That's not fair. That's not right. And yes, that is haram. Okay? Again, you can't tell people how to really build a relationship with God, you know what I'm saying, outside the mosque. You can't. At the end of the day, Allah knows their heart. Allah knows where their mind is at. You know what I'm saying? Allah knows. Or if somebody choose to practice another religion or another philosophy along with the Islamic culture, you can't. What you gonna do? You can't really stop them from doing that. That's their personal choice. Like I heard people make criticism about the Yoruba people who practice Islam and practice Ifa. Okay, that's their choice. That's how some culture are. You know what I'm saying? It might be permissible for them to practice Ifa. But at the end of the day, what can't you do? If you don't want to practice it, you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? This is why I like Sawarian tradition. This is why I like the Sawarian culture. Because the Sawarian culture, right, teaches that you cannot coerce or make people do things that you want them to do. You can't coerce them. You just have to be able to accept the fact that people are going to live a certain way or people are going to practice a certain religious lifestyle, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you have a choice of either you can harmonize with those individuals and live side by side, or you can just go somewhere else. So, and that's what you have to realize. You cannot coerce people into doing everything exactly what the Quran say or the Hadith say. You cannot do that. At the end, people have a right to how they want to have a relationship with Allah. And people may interpret Allah way different from how you may interpret Allah. You know what I'm saying? People may interpret Allah as not only just being a creator, but as being the God self. Because there's somewhere, I don't know if it's in the Hadith, but I've seen somewhere where it says, when you know God, you know yourself. So pretty much, a person might see Allah as a reflection of themselves. And you might say, well, that's haram. That's idolatry. You can't see Allah that way. Okay. But guess what? You may not interpret that way, but that's how they see it. And some people see Allah as being one with nature. Some might see Allah as the universe. Pantheism. They might see that as Allah. That the universe itself is God. Or they might say universe, nature, and consciousness. That's Allah. It depends on how people interpret. But again, what they do, that's personal. So getting back to what I was saying about the brother who's reciting or calling the Adhan rather. I think it was beautiful. I think it was magnificent. I just think maybe he just have to not overextend it, but it was beautiful. I don't see anything wrong with it. That's just his way of calling the Adhan. Just don't overextend. That's all you gotta say to him. And also another thing I've seen criticism about women leading prayers, like leading other women and children while they in prayer. I've seen criticism about that. Well, women are allowed to lead prayer as long as they in the room with other women. And if they in the room with small children, they can lead prayer. As a matter of fact, they can call the Adhan while they in the room with other women. It's just when there is men around, right? Or if you have a teenage son or teenage boys in the room, that's when you're not. Like if they are in the age of puberty, that's when you're not allowed to lead prayer as a woman. Because it's their job to lead the prayer. It's their job to call the Adhan. But when they're not in the room, if there's no males in the room, or males that are in puberty, you can lead the prayer. You can lead a prayer as long as there are women in there and there's small children. You can lead a prayer. You can call the Adhan in the room full of women. Unless you can show me in the Quran or in the Hadith where it says that women are not allowed to lead prayer with other women in the room or with small children. But even with that, again, that's on them. That's their choice. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go along with it. You ain't got to go in the masjid. But that's their choice. You know what I'm saying? If they want to call the Adhan, if they want to lead a prayer, I don't see anything wrong with that. Because just like you got sheikh, you got shaker, right? The female sheikh is a scholar. Yes, you got female scholars out there, those who are very scholarly when it comes to the deen and the Quran. Okay? You got those. All right? And the sheikh is higher than the imam. The imam will fall under the sheikh because he's the one that is very scholarly. And he's well respected. He or she is well respected in the community. Okay? Yeah, so it's nothing wrong with that. Just like it ain't nothing wrong with the woman teaching about the Quran. Or I forgot what's the other thing called, because my mother used to do it when I was younger. We used to be in a little circle and she used to have a book and she would tell the story about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I I forgot what it's called. I think it started with a T. But anyways, it's been a minute. But anyhow, yeah, she used to have a little circle where she would be the one doing the teaching. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I mean, let's not get so big headed. Let's not get so big headed and act like we, what I'm saying, we do everything right. You do everything 100% because you're not gonna follow the Quran 100%. Hey, you're not even gonna follow the Bible 100%. You're not gonna follow the Torah 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because in the modern day time that we living in, is everything is not gonna be 100% followed. So you can only do what you can. And you do the best you can. You try to be the best Muslim, be the best Christian, be the best Jew, or be the best Buddhist, Taoist, whatever. Be the best human that you can be while you here. That's your goal. Be the best human. So, anyways, I don't want to take up too much time, but I just want to give my thoughts and commentary on it. And I hope you all have a good one. Again, I hope you all enjoy your Ramadan and looking forward to it. And until next time, peace and power and elevation be to all of you. And salam alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. And I hope y'all have a great one.